Hello and welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. At the moment I am trying to finish things off, to, in the case of some of the stuff, use it or lose it. I've been tidying the craft room and I've got quite a way with that. You can actually see the floor, which is quite an achievement. But it has brought to light a few unfinished projects and a few things that were going to be projects but just hung around for too long. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start off by going through a couple of the things that either were unfinished projects or just things that I've done that have been hanging around for a long time, and then I'm going to have a go at using some stuff up. So it's going to be a bit of a bitsy video today, but well, hopefully there'll be something interesting in there. Now I'm going to start off with a project that I wasn't really going to feature on here, and I haven't. I've shown it you in a couple of these sort of vloggy videos, but I haven't gone into great details about what I've been doing because it isn't my normal thing, and it is the N-Gage or 1/148 scale diorama, and this is finished. Now I say that with a certain degree of trepidation because it isn't finished. There's things I would like to add, but at the moment I either haven't been able to source them or I just haven't got round to ordering them. So what I decided to do was I decided to add on all the bits that I'd got and call it done for now. So then it can go and live somewhere other than the top of my doll's house where it's been sitting for quite a while. And hopefully eventually I will get to sorting it out. Now the one thing that has been done, if I tip it up you'll be able to see, is it's got lights. Hopefully you can see that. The little Land Rover down there, I haven't decided where it's going to stand, so it's not actually stuck into place, but now I've got lights. I have realised as I've come to film this that I haven't finished what I've got to do because I've got to glue the wires in place underneath, and at the moment something is catching and so it's flickering a little bit, but there are actually lights. Hang on, if I take that out of the way I can tip it up a bit and hopefully you can see that that's lit up even though it's daylight. And yeah, now I've got a little battery pack underneath and it's powered by a little flat, like a watch battery, you know, these little flat cell batteries, and it works really well, and that has been sorted out for me by my amazing husband. Now I'm not going to go into too much in the way of explaining why the various things are there. I put a lot of quite close-up pictures, that sort of thing, on my Facebook page, but there's a lot of, dare I say it, private jokes. Let me put the little Land Rover back. It can fit just inside the doors or outside, but I open the doors especially to get it in there, so that's where it's got to sit. I've added some more to the landscaping, made that look more overgrown, filled my skip or dumpster, and then put a few other bits and pieces in that have got meaning for us. So I'm done with it. Now I like this scale. I like that I can get a little world in a tiny space, but I don't think I'm going to work that small next time. I do want to do another project in railway scale, but it's going to be a while yet. And it's going to be bigger. It's going to be 1/76 76 or 1/72nd, whichever one that is. It's the sort of mid railway scale. It's actually the scale of this little vehicle here, which is an ice cream truck from the 1960s. And that's the only clue I'm going to give for that. But I've had that for years and it has inspired something, and I've got the perfect thing to build a scene in. So that one's done, which, fantastic. I'm pleased. I like how it's come out. Now I'm going to pop that off to the side, and I'm going to show you something that I found while I was tidying up. Now this little Celtic cross was bought over a decade ago, and I'm not even sure why I bought it. It's actually a resin piece that's meant for a fairy garden, and I just liked it. And I do happen to have, and excuse my chair because I'm reaching over stuff, a little bird bath that I bought at the same time, which lives on the front of my doll's house. Now, I'm not sure what scale it is, what scale it's supposed to be even, but that works on my doll's house, and the robin doesn't look too out of scale. But this one had lived in its packet, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But when I found it, it occurred to me that it would work great on the street for dead end when I get that far. I've got another 3 buildings to build in that set, so it's going to be a while. But I wanted to do something a few days ago, and I decided to give this a bit of a make-up. Now, it's actually really quite good. It's got a lot of texture in the resin, and it had got some patina on it already. Now I've added a little bit extra patina, and I've added some moss because, well, texture is everything. And then I've started adding what looks like a dead plant that's sort of growing, presumably out of a crack that would be between the ground and that, which isn't really there, but again, it just adds a bit more texture. And so that's going to go on the shelf with my dead end buildings, ready for when I get that one done. So yeah, a couple of things finished. Now, one thing that I'm part way through, but I've covered in a video before, so I'm not going to be. I've got more heads. If you remember me doing my tiger taxidermy, I said I might make a bit of a feature of it. Well, I found a bag in a charity shop that had got a mixture of old toys in, and I got these 4 in it. So I've now got a zebra, elephant, a hippo, rather a weird coloured hippo if you ask me, and a cheetah or leopard. I'm not sure what it is. It's another big cat. It'll work for a taxidermy piece. And all these need mounting, same as I did previously. I'll make some little mount pieces and just stick them on. Maybe add a bit of paint to dull some of the shine down, but I think this is going to look quite good. And then I think my top hallway in my doll's house is going to definitely have some old taxidermy up there. I am considering buying something a bit random to go there so that it's sort of stuck in the middle of it. I don't know. I'm not keen on dinosaurs, but there's a lot of them about, you know. Maybe I can find a small unicorn. I can add a unicorn's head or something like that. So what I've got here is a box of randomness. I found 2 good sized Ziploc bags which I had filled up with stuff when I packed up the old craft room. So that's over 2 years ago. And then I found these containers which have got various bits in. Some of them are bits that I'd made previously, some of them are bits I've saved, and I thought, okay, I'm going to see what I can do with it. And I'm not sure. I've got some bits of cereal box, some craft sticks, some craft matchsticks, foil off a chocolate Easter egg, a couple of lids, they're quite nice, and then I've got some battery packaging that obviously I've saved to use the blister pack. I've got some lights, but no battery pack. So what this suggests to me is that I have put these down, and if I remember rightly, I'm looking at some of these papers, I think I am. This actually dates back to when I was doing my squirrel shed. Now I'm probably not going to do anything with these lights. They'll probably go in the bin, but I've got them. Various bits of paper, straw, eye drop, all kinds of things. I've got some skulls. Now these are skulls off a set of these sort of lights, and they actually fit on something like that, and they glowed. Not the best looking skulls in the world, but I could do something with him if I repainted him, and maybe. More lids, some bits of something, give me some plastic cogs and springs. Oh, and some bits of foam, and there's some felt in the bottom that was sitting around on the spare chair, which I'm actually using because my proper desk chair type thing, the squeaking's got too much and it doesn't stay in place, so I've done this. So this is what I've got. I've also got some bits around my my desk, some random pieces left over from old projects, recent projects, not so recent projects in the case of some of it, but yeah, various things. And I'm going to try and make something. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? But it was a case of see if I can use any of this stuff before I just empty it straight into a bin bag. I mean, those, oh, they have been opened. Oh, I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to make. I may need to add to it. I'm going to try and add as little as possible, but you never know. I'm going to get thinking. I went away and I had a little think about what I could make, and I was actually inspired by these little crystal pieces that I made ages ago. Now I've got some of these displayed in, I think, the witch's workroom. I've done the same sort of thing, a little chip of crystal on a base so that it stands and then displayed. And what I've seen a lot of lately is miniature versions of printers trays. Now printers trays have been used for many years for displaying miniature pieces, but now people are making miniature versions of them to display miniatures, to display things like these little chips of crystal, etc. And I thought, okay, I don't want to make a printer's tray, but I'm going to make some shelves, I think, to display some crystals. I'll use these as an example. They might not be what is actually displayed on there in the end, but I'm using them as my starting point. And with that in mind, I'm using some of the craft sticks. Now these are the popsicle style sticks, lollipop sticks in the UK. Well, ice lolly sticks in the UK. But these are actual craft ones, and they're quite thick, they're quite sturdy, and they're a bit of a pain to cut. So it's took me a while, and I have actually cut them, so these are just a couple of spare ones, and I have actually only used a couple of sticks because I only need 6 pieces for what I'm going to make, and hopefully this is going to come together quite easily. Now these are my shelves, and you'll notice these are a lot darker than they started out. Could paint it, but I've used a alcohol marker. This one's dark wood, because dark wood pretty much goes with my aesthetic. And there's my bit of card with my glue on. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start sticking these into place. Now this is going to be in effect my side piece, and this is my shelf. So I'm going to start this a little bit up from the base, and hopefully I've got it nice and straight. I can't tell from this angle. And I've just got to wait for this to stick a bit. I'm going to clear off some of the glue because it looks messy. As you can see, it is already starting to take hold because it just fell over, and I'm not going to get annoyed about it, but I am just going to leave this. Now this is all I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be sticking these pieces together. Now if I stick that one like that, and I can put it against my lines, I have to move it a bit closer so that I don't get my head into shot, and I can check that I've got it at right angles. Now that is one piece. The next piece that I'm going to do, I'm going to take the next shelf, and I'm going to take one of these pieces that's going to be an upright, and I'm going to stick that to that. So more of the same. I'm afraid this isn't very complicated. As I say, it's a shelf piece with 6 cuts. It's actually 2 popsicle sticks worth. I've left the curves on the end of the shelves and the upright piece just because I think it looked better. And yeah, and again I'm going to just check this against that. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be fairly good. As I say, these are quite difficult to cut. I normally use I got a pair of the garden cutters like you'd use for cutting quite thick branches, and they're all right, but I quite often, as I did here, have to go back and just tidy it up with a bit of sandpaper. And actually on the end of this one here, I can see that I haven't done the best job of tidying it up with the sandpaper, so I may have to go back in before I stick that piece into place on the final shelf unit. So these two are pretty well stuck now. A bit of glue on there. Now the glue I use will dry clear. It's brilliant like that, but the more you can clean up the better. Now I'm going to put some more glue along the 2 raw edges. Now I mustn't turn that so that it's actually upside down to your view. It's upside down to my view too, but what I'm going to do is I'm now going to push these together, and that isn't straight, so we'll just, hopefully that looks straight from where you're looking at it. Not bad. Thankfully a lot of my properties aren't altogether exact in their evenness, etc. I'm hoping I've done this the right way. I'm hoping I haven't just got all mixed up. No, I haven't got all mixed up. I'm doubting myself now. I'll take that extra glue off there and we'll just have a look at this. Actually, it's not too bad, I don't think. I think I'm going to be able to get away with this. And I'm going to repeat the process. One final time. Now, I've made shelves before. I've made various kinds of shelves. But as I always say, shelves are a great thing, whether they're freestanding or wall mounted. They are a great thing to include in your doll's house because they become a location for the little stuff. And as I always say, the little stuff is what gives the doll's house character. It is those personal possessions that give all of our homes the indication that it's our place. And that is no different when it comes to a miniature home. So there we have. I need to let the glue dry properly, and I've got a little white bit on the edge there. So all I'm going to do, I want the brush end. These pens have got two ends. I've got a brush end and a fine end, and I find that the brush end is far better for miniatures. And I think I'm just going to put it back down this side because it looks like it's... Now this stain alcohol ink won't go over the glue, but it will sit quite nicely on the wood. So here we have the basics of a little shelf unit. Now you could make it as complicated as you like. You could put more uprights in, but I like to think that that could look quite nice in a miniature scene. Now, because this is I'm intending for this to be wall mounted, it will be stuck on the back and stuck to the wall, which is why I've left that little bit sticking out, because obviously now it won't stand up perfectly, which means I've got to take photos, etc., from above. So I've got one of my little candlesticks here that would fit on there. These aren't going to fit perfectly because I'm not going to put them in with it's not going to work with that, is it? But I think start sort of pushing these into rough location. You can get the idea of what I was going for. Now, as I say, I'm not going to glue these into place. I will probably use a little bit of tacky wax, it's like museum wax, just to hold them in place so I can take some photos and show you the final result. And here we have my little dressed shelf. A really simple piece, but as I say, one that can fill in a little space. And you could quite easily put some little books or something on there if that was more in keeping with your decor. It's a very versatile kind of idea. You know, you don't need to make shelves that have got two ends. You can, if you leave them open like this, it can add a bit more variety. So yeah, I've not used up much out of that box. 2 popsicle sticks, doesn't go very far, and even taking these pieces out doesn't go very far. So I'll probably have to look at that again, but it may get a lid put on it, and I'll find somewhere to put it out of the way for a while. But I made something, and sometimes that's all you need to do, even if it does just involve a couple of popsicle sticks and some glue. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell so that YouTube can let you know when I next put up a video. I am planning a video, hopefully, pretty soon. I want to do some Christmas stuff, and yeah, I want to do Christmas. So hopefully that will be coming up real soon. But until next time, bye.